Since then, once the rest of the men returned, there was a meeting among the captains. The subject of that meeting was the three men at Nijo Castle, Shikage Kazuma, Kyuju Amagiri, and Kyo Shiranui. They called themselves demons, and their previous encounters with the Shinsengumi suggested they were somehow involved with the Satsuma and Choshu. The Satsuma were the most powerful domain in the opposition domain, and the Choshu are publicly expressive of their dissent towards the shogunate. The Choshu are essentially enemies of the court. I don't know how the three men are supposedly affiliated with the domains, but it was abundantly clear they are not to be dealt with carelessly. There was another problem, however. Why had they come for me? They said I was one of them, and knew about my family name and my Kodachi. But how? My name is Chizuru Yukimura. I am the daughter of my father and my mother. I am a normal girl, nothing out of the ordinary. But who am I? Who am I? Chizuru. And now it's June. Just a little segue. It's fine. June, whatever year you want. The compound was alive with noise and movement. I passed several soldiers in the halls, each one of them excited about something. What was going on?
This is unconscionable. Never in all my...
Ito? Is something wrong?
Yes, I'd say everything is wrong. Why should I be made to bare my skin in the same room as those savages?
Ito's explanation was useless. I was completely confused. Is there something going on today? Ito did his best to collect himself, shakily adjusting his hair and clothing before he spoke.
Someone claiming to be a doctor whom Kondo met on his visit to the Shogun has arrived. He is conducting physical examinations.
With a disdainful sniff, he glared pointedly across the hall towards the area he'd just left. The men were getting physical checkups, that much I knew. Given my particular situation, I'd been exempted by the captains, who also gave me special instructions to stay away.
That hairless monster! That doctor! He demanded I remove my clothes in front of everyone. When I refused, as any decent man would, he tried to remove them himself, by force. And the rest of them just stood there. What sort of uncultured savages are they?
Savages seemed a bit strong. At any rate, perhaps I should go see just what a physical entailed. I was a doctor's daughter, after all. What's this doctor's name?
I believe he called himself Ryojin Matsumoto.
What? Wait, Dr. Matsumoto?
What's up with that reaction? Do you know him?
When I first came to Kyoto, my plan was to find Dr. Matsumoto. My father told me that I could rely on the man if I ever needed anything. Unfortunately, he was away on business when I'd arrived, and after that... I'm going to go watch the physical exams! There was no time to waste.
Oh my. So you want to see those savages? What peculiar taste.
Oh, Ito. Is this it? I could hear loud voices from inside. Oh! Oh. The scene froze me in place.
Alright, next.
At last! My turn! Check this out, Doctor!
Ba-dong.
What do you think? You're looking at the amazing product of years of training.
Your body's fine, Shin. I think it's your head the doctor ought to be taking a look at.
What's that? You say you want me to beat the daylights out of you?
You're fine, Shinpachi Nagakura. Now get. Next!
Whoa, hold on there, Doc. You gotta get a good look at this.
No, you're quite fine. Healthy as a horse. And I've seen quite enough, thank you.
Our poor Bean in the background glaring.
You're holding up the line, Shinpachi. Get moving, okay? I'm just saying, I don't really think you've had time to fully examine. Don't you want to order a slice of this beefcake? I got 2 meaty servings on a plate right here. A medical examination is for finding problems, not showing off. Now move.
It wasn't difficult to see why Ito was desperate to escape. I couldn't imagine him as part of such a display. What should I do? I feel like it's rude to intrude.
Yukimura, what are you doing here? Is something the matter?
Oh, Yamazaki, hello. I heard that Dr. Matsumoto was here. Yamazaki didn't look like he was in the mood to tolerate my snooping, so he went to the point.
I see. I take it you aim to speak with him, huh? I have been briefed on everything regarding your situation. I think I know what you're doing.
You're checking out the guys.
However, the physicals are taking some time. Will you leave this to me?
What should I do? I will say yes, because I don't get points with him if I say yes. Are you sure? Then yes, please do so.
Got it. Please, excuse me.
Yamazaki went over to Dr. Matsumoto.
Pardon me, Dr. Matsumoto. Please, allow me to look after those whose symptoms are minor. Why not take a little break? I'll take you up on your offer.
I waited outside for Dr. Matsumoto until he stepped out of the examination room. Excuse me?
Yes?
He looked at me for a moment, his eyes narrowed in curiosity.
I need to fetch some more medicine, so maybe it's a good time for a break. Can you give me a hand?
Oh, yes, of course. What luck? Luck, that's what it is. Dr. Matsumoto.
Oh, Doctor. Hello, Yukimura.
Oh, hi, Kondo.
I see you found her already.
Yes, thanks to you.
What? I was utterly lost. Dr. Matsumoto laid a gentle hand on my shoulder.
Chizuru, I came here to see you. Kondo told me that Kodo's daughter was staying with the Shinsengumi.
Oh, I see.
I knew Kodo and Matsumoto were acquaintances, so I thought perhaps Matsumoto might be able to give us a clue as to his friend's whereabouts. I looked him up as soon as he returned to Kyoto.
The Shinsengumi had their own reasons for wanting my father found, but Dr. Matsumoto's appearance was still cause for joy. Thank you, both of you. They smiled. Dr. Matsumoto then explained he had just barely missed me when he left for Edo as I came to Kyoto. He'd received all my letters, but once he finally returned, he had no idea where I was and consequently couldn't find me.
I'm sorry that I missed you. You must have had a rough time of it. Is there anything you need?
No, I'm doing all right. So, Dr. Matsumoto, about my father. His face took on a grim cast, and before he even spoke, I knew what his response would be.
Unfortunately, I know no more about where Kodo might be than you do.
I see. The defeated tone of my voice surprised me. I suppose on some level I believe Dr. Matsumoto had some miraculous revelation about my father. Foolish of me, of course, but that didn't make the truth any less devastating. Kondo simply nodded.
I hear you've become involved with the treatment. You know what I mean, don't you? Kodo's experiments.
Yes, I knew what he meant. The experiments my father conducted with some strange concoction that can make people go mad. Please, tell me about it. I want to know everything my father was doing. He nodded.
Kyoto was working with the Shinsengumi under orders from the shogun to create what were called furies. Furies are humans with nigh demonic strength and speed, and phenomenal healing abilities.
Furies. This term seems so familiar, then I realized I'd overheard some of the men talking about it. Many a time.
Don't jinx him, Souji. It's gonna look bad if officers start joining the Furies.
Oh, so furies come from something you drink where any injuries could be cured.
The furies that Hisuke spoke about are meant to be pitied.
The substance that transforms normal men into these furies is called the water of life. In China, they call it sentan. In short, it grants immortality.
Furies. Water of life. It sounded more like something from a fairy tale rather than real life. But there was something in Dr. Matsumoto's tone of voice that said he was telling the truth. I've already heard about how it makes you strong and hard to kill, but doesn't it cause so much pain that it makes most people go crazy? And even if you survive that, then even the smell of blood can make you go crazy again. Dr. Matsumoto nodded slowly, then pinched the bridge of his nose with thumb and forefinger. He looked very tired.
So, you know about that too?
Yes. They were human, but not human. Perhaps they were almost entirely different now. I couldn't see how this water of life could ever be used for good. Even if it had healed Sanon's arm, he'd suffered greatly in the process. Why? It sounded more like a moan than a question. My father would never want to ruin the life of another, but because of what he'd done, people suffered and some even died. Why was my father doing this? But it wasn't just my father. I was sure no one involved expected such a terrible outcome.
Perhaps that is why Kyoto left. His conscience would no longer allow him to continue.
But the Water of Life was an opportunity given to us by the Shogun to help strengthen the Shinsengumi.
The doctor only shook his head.
It was an experiment, and it has failed. You should put it behind you. I'm sure the shogunate has abandoned it as well.
Kondo frowned, perhaps unhappy that Dr. Matsumoto would question the shogunate's original decision.
You've seen what happened to the men it was tested on, Kondo. It cannot be allowed to continue. This experiment is inhumane, and you know it.
Kondo gave a non-committal grunt and fell silent. I was sure Kondo knew just how dangerous it was to use the Water of Life, but the shogunate had come to him with a request. Perhaps he couldn't refuse, even if he wanted to. Silence fell like a thick blanket. I understand that you are the shogunate's designated doctor, but you are not one of us. An outsider has no right to object. Sanon? His face was pale as moonlight, as if he was a walking corpse. Is it okay for you to be up right now?
Shouldn't you be resting, Sanon? You look pale.
Don't worry about me. He bowed quickly, his mouth a compressed line, and turned to regard the doctor with a cool gaze. We use this treatment effectively, and at our own discretion.
It's dangerous and far too strong.
We have continued Kodo's research. I am, as you can see, living proof, so to speak. As Sanon did indeed prove, it was possible to drink the Water of Life and retain your sanity. It just wasn't easy.
Perhaps you're right. But that could also mean that you're forcing your body in ways the eyes can't see.
I am perfectly healthy. I respectfully disagree. With continued research and modification, we will have many more successes and fewer casualties.
Do you plan on sacrificing more of your men in order to have more successes? Using your men to experiment with things that put them in danger comes off as a disregard for life. It's a disgrace.
The men who gave their lives are the foundation of our work. They did not die in vain.
But
Alright, that's enough. From both of you. Why don't we discuss this some other time?
It was my private opinion that they were unlikely to agree, no matter what time they discussed the subject, but I felt it was polite to keep quiet.
very well.
There seemed to be very little common ground between them, but both arguments had merit. Kondo had likely seen this as well, and he chose to end things before it got unpleasant.
If you insist, Kondo.
Sanon's face betrayed nothing of what he might be thinking, even when the corner of his mouth quirked up into the beginning of a smile. He bowed quietly and left as swiftly as he arrived. I don't know, am I crazy? I felt like that interaction went a little bit different this time, but maybe I'm just imagining stuff. It is late here, I could just be dreaming.
So, how did the exams go?
Ah, yes, about that. This sure is a headache.
What? Why is that?
What do you mean, why? The amount of injured and sick warriors is nearly a third of your force.
What?
Impossible!
It is not only possible, Kondo, it is the truth. What have you been doing to these poor men? Cuts, lacerations, bowel pain. This entire place is lousy with, well, lice for one.
Seriously? I'm so embarrassed to hear this. I never would have imagined.
First, you need to set aside a room dedicated to medical care. Sick men can be sent there. Second, you need to clean this place up. Otherwise, I won't be able to help you.
Understood. I'll get to it this instant.
And by that I mean I'll make everybody else do the cleaning. So we were ordered to clean the entire compound.
Why the hell do we have to do a massive cleaning? There's nothing I hate more in the world than cleaning and organizing crap. Stop bitching. Hurry up and lift up that cabinet over there. Now's the perfect chance to serve up those meat cakes you were flaunting earlier.
Ah! A rat!
Calm down. It's not a big deal. It seems as though it was feeding on that rice ball over there.
You're right. Who the hell hid their leftovers over here in the corner?
Ugh, why do I have to bother myself with such a menial task like a servant? I mean, I'm a strategist more than anything. Cleaning isn't in my job description.
Chill out. Why don't you just whip out your prize Koshu style and do all of the work for us?
Shut it! My Koshi military science wasn't designed to help any of you with your housework. What a preposterous idea!
You're quite the big meanie, Harada. Those archaic tactics of his wouldn't be enough to fetch a broom, let alone clean this mess.
Miki, you watch your mouth. It may be outdated compared to Western studies, but Koshi military science is far from outdated.
Oh look, Kondo's coming.
What? Chief Kondo, please look. This room was so dirty you couldn't even walk on it, but under my guidance it's clean as a Where's the chief?
Takeda realized Kondo was nowhere to be seen, and he glared at Harada.
You fell for it.
Damn you, Harada. You tricked me!
Wow, between bitching, kissing ass, and whining like a baby, you're quite the multitasker. Don't you ever get tired of being a two-faced prick, not knowing which face to show people?
Hi, everyone! What a good time to come in. I've washed the rags. Please use this when you wipe the floor.
Oh, awesome. Thanks!
Despite being upset because of chore duty, the men swiftly cleaned the room as a team. Good job, everyone. Dr. Matsumoto came the next day to inspect the cleanliness of the compounds.
Okay, this looks to be in adequate shape.
Right? See, everyone, even the doctor realizes that I'm in shape.
Compared to the complexity of war tactics, it's not like cleaning is some brilliant task.
All you did was complain.
Didn't Souji get to rest all day? Sounds like he got special treatment while we busted our asses.
Hey, don't blame me. Hichikata is the one being overprotective here.
It is your fault. You're the one coughing up a lung. You're not improving because you don't take care of yourself. Seeing the compound in such clean conditions is, I must admit, quite nice.
Oh, Saito.
True. The place looks different. I could get used to this. Well, maybe we should clean every day then. Great idea. Make sure you do a good job, Heisuke.
Me? Whoa, hold on a minute here. You've got the most energy, Shin. Don't think you're getting out of this.
I'll help too, Heisuke.
Oh yeah? We'll take it on together. You and me alone. Forget Shin.
Hey, wait a minute. I didn't say I wasn't gonna do it. Shinpachi, there's some trash over there. Go throw it away. We aren't starting till tomorrow, right? Heisuke? Stop running around like that. We just cleaned and you're already kicking up dust.
Honestly. I was enjoying the banter when I noticed something. Oh? There they go. I could just see Okita and Dr. Matsumoto outside, walking off somewhere together. Where could they be going, I wondered. Well, I know if I say it's not any of my business, Saito... I didn't run into Saito again. Because, Kazuma shows up. So, I did know there was another option with Okita that I could have took. I'll try that and see if it takes us somewhere else. What were Okita and Dr. Matsumoto doing? Was Okita going to talk to the doctor about his cough? He was coughing an awful lot lately, now that I thought about it. Was he alright? I decided to follow them. Not okay. Huh? Unfortunately, I'd waited too long, and by the time I made my way outside, they were gone. I think they went this way.
Oh, Yukimura. Are you looking for someone?
Shimada, have you seen Okita and the doctor?
Oh, yeah. I think I saw them on their way to the courtyard.
Thank you!
Don't mention it. Just slow down before you hurt yourself, alright?
Yes, goodbye. I saw him walk off, and it got me thinking. The courtyard. Should I try and catch up? Or should I go around the back to reach the courtyard before they did? Okay, let's try going around this time. I ducked onto the narrow path that ran around the back, and I soon found myself at the courtyard. Well? I hid myself in the shadows, waiting. Okita and the doctor appeared only moments after I hid silently. Oh, okay. We just beat them here.
I'll be honest with you, Okita. You have tuberculosis.
For just a second, my heart stopped. A shiver ran down my spine, and suddenly I felt very, very cold. Had a feeling that was it. The real thing, huh? The famous disease. Okita has... Gotta tell you, though, I'm not used to getting health advice from doctors, you know.
The best medicine for tuberculosis is rest. I suggest you leave the Shinsengumi and eat nutritional foods to keep up your energy.
Sorry, no can do.
Look, this is serious. If you don't deal with this, you might be fine now, but eventually you won't even be able to get up from your bed.
Then I'll be here until then. I put my sword before my body, even if I cough up blood.
Why are you so desperate to stay here?
I'm the Shinsengumi sword. Me being here is my everything. I'm here to kill anyone who stands against the Shinsengumi. Simple as that.
I understand.
Okita sounded cheery, but I was listening in a state of shock. Okita is going to die? I felt like I wanted to faint, but I stayed strong and remained standing. Look, Doc. Please, don't tell Kondo and the guys about this, okay? Promise.
Well, I suppose there are certain things that not everyone needs to know. There's something else I've been keeping secret. I just can't bring myself to tell her. There's a rumor that Kodo is working for a group of extremists. Some of the imperialist Ronin. How could I tell her that?
The news of Okita's illness had me so scattered I almost cried out at this new piece of intelligence. My father working with nationalists? There was suddenly someone behind me. A hand slipped over my mouth before I could react, and a freezing sensation made my spine shiver. Please be Saito?
Stay silent.
Yes, it's my boy! Oh, so he also finds out about Souji here? That's so sad. Oh no, I'm all sad. I thought, oh, okay, maybe there is nothing else going on here. I picked good choices. It was a calm, cool voice that I'd heard many times before, although never from quite so close. So close. Saito? My body relaxed. The body behind me was Saito, not some anonymous assailant. A known assailant.
Be still. Souji is very perceptive.
I nodded my head as much as I dared. His hand over my mouth made me too nervous to breathe. Saito's presence next to me was silent and sharp, like a blade in the night. It seemed like hours passed before Okita and Matsumoto finally left. Can I breathe now? Oh, hi, Yamazaki!
Too close. If it weren't for Saito, you'd have gotten in some real trouble.
Yamazaki? How long was he? Nope, something told me that would be a foolish question. He was probably watching the whole time. Sorry. If you hadn't stopped me, Saito, I probably would have given myself away.
No. It is I who should apologize for being so forward with you.
That's fine. I like that you snuck around, girl. That was good spy work.
Nonetheless, you followed orders, which is commendable.
Oh, no, not at all. There was the briefest hint of a smile in his eyes and on his mouth as he spoke, and then it disappeared.
Now, Souji, can you truly pretend that you heard nothing, specifically nothing regarding his illness?
He wasn't asking me to keep my mouth shut, per se, but rather to forget what I'd seen and heard had ever happened. I'm curious why you guys were spying on this, just so that you're in the know, or... But... why?
If word of his illness were to get out, it would be detrimental to the Shinsengumi. Our enemies would be elated, and the chief and commander would be miserable.
Well, I guess Souji is one of the best warriors they have. I'm like, really? Just one guy getting tuberculosis? He was right. Even I could understand that. But I couldn't forget the sight of Okita smiling, even with the seriousness of this news.
We will deal with his illness. This is nothing you need concern yourself over.
But...
In other words, do not get involved.
At the end of the day, I was still only a guest. This sad reminder resurfaced once more. I may live among the Shinsengumi, but I wasn't one of them. Saito's words made that very clear. Suddenly I felt cold, as if a cold gust of wind blew through me, draining all the heat from my body. I was all alone.